gonna be alright. Yeah. Cause me and my clique, we don't give a fuck. Sweet Daddy, good job, Big Daddy. Good job. Let's go. If you know that you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. Let's go. If you know that you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. If you want some, come get some.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FTW Future Focus for Thanksgiving weekend. And today is the No Thanks Thanksgiving weekend. Thanks to our counter, we rolled over 45 already, but today the infamous phrase is banned. I am your not so humble correspondent, Robert Black, and I am joined from his workspace at the Hampton Inn, our founder of our feast, the president of FTW Network, and a former professional wrestler and promoter extraordinaire, the Mastermind Bobby Rogers. Now, he may not be able to join us too much today because he is at his work desk putting in the midnight oil. So we three are going to be manning things and doing the thing. To my side is the good goddamn handsome man from Indianapolis, Indiana. He in no way had a part of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but he is a prince in our hearts. He is the Gadget Man, Chris Woods. How you doing, sir?
Wow, I'm doing better today because I'm on here with you guys. Like this, sometimes this is my counseling for the week. So I just want to thank you guys for letting me be a part of it.
Well, I thank you, sir. And today we're going to be having some extra sessions. And catty corner to me is the master of wine, women, song, and cigars, a man who wins at gambling more often than Lefty Rosenthal. He is Tony Motown Allen. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Had a great Thanksgiving, and I'm ready to get into this show, especially at the Survivor Series. So, ready to kick this off.
Okay. And I think Bobby is still busy, so I guess we can move on to our first meet of the day, which is the review of the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Motown, are you going to be introducing the matches?
Yeah, I can take care of the matches here.
All right, you got it. So fire away.
All right, so as kind of Survivor Series War Games, only 5 matches on the card. They kicked off with the Women's War Games. You had Damage Control, Bailey, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane versus an all-star team plus Sachi. We have Bianca Belair, we have Charlotte Flair, we have Becky Lynch, and we have Shanti Blackheart. Let's kick this one off with Chris.
The talent that WWE has in their women's division right now is the highest level I've ever seen. And this is over TNA's knockout division back in the early, like 2008-ish, 2010-ish. I was pleasantly surprised. And it wasn't a lot of botches either. Like, they were really crisp. They told a story. Damage Control being a faction versus all those baby faces is what, to me, made the match even better. And I'm going to say something, Rob, that you might not like or you might love. Io Sky's the best Joshi in the business right now. She was fantastic, but Asuka put on a show. Kairi Sane has the best elbow in wrestling right now, because I'm a Macho Man fan. But the way she throws her legs up in the air, because she's so small, that make it look like her impact's even more. She did it twice in the match. Both times I gasped. I was like, ooh, you know what I mean? But
once on
Io Sky, Io Sky is one of my favorite female wrestlers in the world right now. I'll argue with anybody. She's that damn good. She really is. But now let's get to the good girls. Let's get to the baby faces. The GOAT was out there. Bianca was out there. I mean, they put on a fucking show. They really did show out. These girls all had chemistry. You can tell they've all wrestled each other. I thought Bailey was the mainstay that that connected everything because she's one of the horsewomen, the 4 horsewomen. So she's wrestled, Charlotte. She's wrestled Becky, and this is Becky's best match of the year because we all hate Becky. Becky came to play. She actually wrestled, did her part. She didn't beat. Yes, she did. She did her part. That's the old Becky that we used to like before we started calling her that bitch Becky. Tony quoted that. That's Tony's quote. Becky was Becky again. And I liked her. You can see they're setting up Becky and Charlotte again. They're setting that up. Charlotte's done everything. There's nothing left for her to do, really, but to fight Bianca Belair at a WrestleMania for the title. That's it. She's fought Rio, but I thought all these women put their hearts on the line. I thought they were as clean as they could be in a cage setting with 2 rings. And I gave this match a 4.25. This is one of the best women's matches I saw this year. I really enjoyed it. From start to finish. Way to start off a fucking pay-per-view, WWE.
All right, Rob, what do you think?
Well, I gave this match a 4. I did enjoy it. It was my match of the night, actually. And they did everything they needed to do, and of course they couldn't bleed, and that was what might take a quarter of a star off for me.
I agree.
But they hit every spot that they needed to hit. They went crazy with the weapons. I mean, the spot of the night was EO being crazy enough to put that damn trash can over her head.
That was awesome.
Off the cage. Yeah, that was good.
It was different too. Like they did something different we never seen before.
Yes, they did do something different that mattered. I'll put it that way. They did something different that mattered. But all in all, this was my best match of the night, and I can't argue with the idea that Io Shirai is the best Joshi in the world right now. Yeah, that's I'm not gonna argue too strenuously.
It looks good when she wrestles, doesn't it? Like what the things she does, it just looks good.
She always looked fantastic. It's just that she's
mastered it now.
She's refined her methods.
Yes.
She's a better spot taker than she
was. And wasn't it cool them all coming out with the mask at the beginning of the match? That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the only entrances that I watched, honestly. I moved forward to get past the entrances for practically everyone else, but still a solid 4, great match, and it was my match of the night.
That's good.
Wow. All right. Here comes Tony No Fun. I gave it the lowest score on the panel.
I hate you, Tony.
You're channeling Marcus.
No, Marcus might have liked this.
I beat Marcus on the bet, and he's not here, and now I thought the match was decent. I love the spot with Io Sky with the trash can. I did like that. I like Bailey whipping Io with her braid. The one thing that bothered me in this match was the babyface having the advantage. They just kind of take away from the basic fundamentals.
Shouldn't the heels come out first and have the advantage? That's what I was thinking.
Actually, there were 2 firsts in this match. It's the very first time that the faces won the advantage for getting in the cage, and it's the first time that the team that won the advantage for draw won the match.
Wow.
Yeah. They were trying to be different with this.
I
good info.
To be different. It just was off for me though, because I'm so used to like the baby faces being a disadvantage, trying to overcome the odds, which makes sense to me because like you got the heels constantly trying to overcome the numbers game. It's almost like they're the baby faces.
Right.
I think they were teasing a Bailey turn.
We know that's going to happen. And Bailey was really strong in this match. She really was.
She was.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand Bailey, but she was really strong in this match. And I'll be honest with you, I really hope they keep the title on Io through WrestleMania.
I did too.
Maybe have a slow turn, but eventually a turn on Bailey, and maybe have Bailey win the Royal Rumble. Like, make her the ultimate babyface. Have her win the Rumble. And
That would be awesome, man.
All right,
So
I'm here now.
What's your score?
I give it a 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
That's still good. That's a great score. Yeah.
That's still good.
Then Rob.
All right, what's up? Yes, I'm here.
The women's Survivor Series match.
I've been listening to y'all. Yeah.
Okay.
Chris has been kissing up, and yeah, I've heard all of it. I kept my ear open.
Kissing up.
Man, you so anyway. Check this out. I don't know what was up with you, Johnny, on this one. Somebody channeled the inner Marcus in you and just had him float through the waves to you.
Away from you.
This match was awesome. No, this match was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I like the way they switched it up. I like the way they did everything, because the thing was, it was the same old thing. He'll get the advantage, blah, blah, blah. No, let's see what happens when the rabbit got the gun now. What happens? You know what I'm saying? So I like that aspect. I like the psychology of it. They all worked towards something. It was a story. It was not BS. It was not a spot fest. It was not continuously jumping off the cage so you can be seen. The things that jumped off the cage was important. You know what I'm saying? E.O. Skyman hit herself with a Russian missile. That was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. I mean, I honestly could not find anything wrong with this match. I gave it a 5.
Oh, wow.
And real quick, we got Tuzu TV. He said over Oscar, no, Io's a close second. And he also agreed that the babyface shouldn't have the advantage in this match.
And you know the other thing that was good about this match? They let everybody shine with the storytelling. Because we know Charlotte's the GOAT. She was not the GOAT in this match. And I loved it. It looked like she was like, let me let these women shine tonight. I was impressed. I really was.
You know what it looked like? It looked like an actual team win.
It did. It did.
Than one individual rising up and winning the match. That's
and
what
either
gave.
team
That's
would
what
have
had
won.
me
We
give
would
it a
have
5.
believed it. We would have believed either team would have won.
Yeah.
Heels or baby faces. That's how good it was.
When I saw that the baby faces had the draw advantage, I thought that Damage Control was going to win. Honestly,
no.
Reverse the
on
psychology.
SmackDown, when Damage Control won on SmackDown, I knew. I go, yep, the baby faces are going to win.
Well,
I knew it off of SmackDown alone.
Just to point out,
I know we did. I agree with you. When I watch SmackDown, though, I put it in my notes. I go, the baby faces are going to win.
All right. Next match for the Intercontinental Championship. We have the 8-time Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, challenging Walter.
Chop vest.
Hey, you want to kick this one off, Bobby?
Yeah, I'm going to kick this one off. Why is it that I feel bad that The Miz finally got the ass whooping he deserved? This is the way they should have beat his ass when he first came in, and they didn't. And Gunther said, hold my beer. Let me show you how to do this in a physical way. He whooped The Miz. I was about to call him mine because that Z was getting knocked off of him all day long. I'm sorry, but I got to give Miz the credit for taking it, and coming back too. I mean, I can't say it was all Gunther because it took Miz to come back for it, and I see why he's married to Maurice. Maurice treats him like crap, and he keeps coming back. Hey, Gunther was chopping the crap out of him, beating the crap out of him, and he kept coming back. I get it. It's his DNA. I've learned who The Miz was. He takes a lot of crap and keeps coming back. And I learned that Gunther is just a beast, and he makes Brock Lesnar look like a punk. I'm sorry. I'm loving this. Gunther all the way. I had a hard time knocking this man down, even with the Miz in it. I gave this a 4.25.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, I want to go next.
All right.
This one, I didn't like it as much as Bobby. I gave it a
Oh,
three,
where? Oh, yeah.
but it was a typical Gunther match. We got what we expect out of Gunther, but I did like the Miz. And one thing that impressed me with the aspect that Miz took is the fact that like he's so over. The Chicago was behind the Miz, like they were like pulling for Miz, and I think that's a testament to how good Gunther's doing as a heel. And there was a moment in the match I thought he won when he did the low blow into the skull crusher finale. I was like, "Holy shit, is it over?" But of course, Gunther kicked out and got the win. It was a good. I thought that was a good moment. I thought Miz looked good in his role in this match, though. I was impressed with him. I'm always impressed with Gunther. Like that. That just go without saying. But yeah, but I gave the match a 3. Chris.
I was mad, and I'll tell you why. Gunther's one of their biggest draws. He's a great wrestler, but I tried to think back just off the top of my head. Over a year, he wrestled Sheamus and he wrestled McIntyre. Great matches. And then The Miz. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, they threw Miz a bone. But why wasn't this just a straight squash match? One of those where you kill somebody and they don't get no offense in. It bothered me. It really did. Because Gunther is that dominant. I would have rather, this is one of those spots where I would have said, when is Drago and Gunther going to be on the big stage? We've seen it. Put it on a pay-per-view. Drago and Gunther. Give me that. I don't care who the Miz fights. Logan Paul, Gunther, Rey Mysterio. I don't want to see the Miz ever effing again. Period. I know what he is to WWE, the ultimate utility guy. But on a pay-per-view, this match was filler. I couldn't wait for it to end. I said, damn, why didn't Gunther just go in there and kill this dude? I gave it a 2.25 just because Gunther's that great. But I can't give Miz anything. I'm just not a Miz. I'm never going to be a Miz fan, ever. Sorry.
Okay, I need to say this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, please excuse me for my past. I have rubbed off on Chris by thinking Jake Cargill should get squash matches, and now he thinks Gunther should get. Please forgive me for that. I'm sorry. It's my bad. I didn't mean to rub off on him like that. But
This is the please forgive me edition.
I thought y'all were going to agree with me. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay, Chris has surprised me twice now. He rated the women's War Games match higher than I did, and he rated this match lower than I did, which is surprising on both counts. I gave this a 2 3/4, and the reason being that, it wasn't for the reason that Chris did. It wasn't because of that. I can see them respecting the Miz enough to give him some offense, and Walter was kind enough to sell for him on a certain level, which is fine for a pay-per-view match. Okay, this match is basically a blueprint for what should have happened between Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes.
Right.
This match is what you guys meant by methodical pace, as opposed to just phoning in the match. Gunther was in complete control the whole time. Miz was playing off of him, and Gunther dictated the pace, and he never looked like he was lazy. it always looked like he was putting in the effort and making it look like the Miz could beat him when everybody knew that he really couldn't. And that's why the crowd was into the Miz, which admittedly I would rather see the Miz as a heel because I enjoy, like Bobby, seeing the Miz get his ass kicked. But it was a foregone conclusion, and considering the way they're going with the storyline that Gunther is going to be WWE's straw man for hey, I want to hold up traditional wrestling against the sports entertainers, and they're going to use Gunther as that go-to, and I hate that aspect of it. But the match was palatable 2 3/4.
All right, couple things. Suzu TV said the Miz should have won. Period. Gunther's streak is getting old. And he also said he'd rather see a rematch between Pete Dunne and Gunther.
I'd rather see it.
I would rather see Pete Dunne and Gunther. You know what? But Gunther versus Drago is one of the we can all agree in the last 2 years. That was one of the best matches of all time.
No,
See,
I'm not going to agree with that.
You said it when they wrestled. You gave it a 5.
Right. I'm not going to agree. It's the best match of that year. I'm going to give it the best match of almost all time.
No, I said one of.
Best match of almost all time. No, I will give it that.
No. In the last 2 years. In the last 2 years.
You know what I'd like to see? You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Pete Dunne get called Pete Dunne again.
Me too.
Oh, I was thinking you was going to say something else. I thought you was going to say Io Sky.
No. There's no SmackDown recap, but I got a lot about Pete Dunne in my recap that I wrote up that I don't get to use.
All right, before we move to the next
I was thinking, Rob, you was going to say Io Sky, bro. I thought you was going with Io Sky, man.
And of course, we all picked Gunther, which was no surprise. Our next match was scheduled to be Santos Escobar versus Carlito, and we all picked Santos Escobar to win against Carlito. But instead, we get Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. Bobby, go ahead, Bobby. You go first since you're with us right now.
Boy, I'm telling you, this was a banger. The future of Lucha Libre is right here. They're really settling Santos Escobar into this role, and they needed him to see a couple of things to take his character off, and he's back. Number one, now he's the second best music that came out of NXT. Sorry, I mean that music he got is just bad as hell. But his execution is awesome. He needs to clean it up a little bit, but his execution is awesome. What the hell can you say about Dragon Lee? He's Dragon fucking Lee. So I'm gonna give this one I gotta give this one a 4.
All right. Rob, what'd you give it?
I gave this match a 3 1/4. It was the sleeper match of the night, and we got an extra match from NXT, technically, because Escobar and Dragon Lee are both NXT regulars, or were. So, actually, I was not looking forward to the Carlito match, and so I'm glad we got the substitute. Not that I have anything against Carlito, but we definitely got a better match against Escobar than we would have gotten otherwise with him still in the match. Work storyline wise, and both of those guys work well off of each other, and I enjoyed it, and it was my third highest ranked match of the pack. So yeah, 3 and 2. I can't even talk. You were going to say
tuna fish. You were like tuna.
3.25. That's
okay. Wow.
Underneath there, Rob?
Bobby's had all 4s, and you've had all 3.25.
Can I ask a question right quick?
Me?
And I'm going to ask this to everybody, and those who's watching in chat or what have you, and those that will watch on the replay. It's something that I want to ask. When it comes to Lucha Libre, okay, why is it that the storyline can't always be about the family tradition and trying to be the best? And then you have your heels of Lucha Libre trying to cheat to be the best. And then you got your faces that want to be just the best competitor there is. I have a look at Lucha Libre now to where I'm saying, if executed correctly, you can tell stories, but there's limited stories you can tell. And I think those would be the best ones you could tell with it. Especially when you do that, you can bring out the heritage of the Latino people, have that highlighted to show that they're about family, to show the positive side along with the negative side. You know, we see a lot of the negative side when it comes to this Lucha Libre stuff where they're trying to cheat or whatever, or they treat the women like they're cheaters or whatever, instead of having it as an even kill. I've always wondered that. That's something I talked to Tony about a while back. I wanted to get you guys thoughts on that real quick.
All right. Can I go next, Tony?
Yeah, go ahead.
I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, so I watched Univision my whole life.
Wow. Wow. That was Channel 44 in Chicago.
I'm just saying, like Lucha wrestling, they've always been about their heritage and family. The Guerrero family is revered. Like Mil Mascaras to the Mysterios, they've always been family versus family. That's their storyline. It's all a mask versus mask at the end of a battle. The mask is the most important thing. It's which bothered me. WCW made Rey Mysterio take his mask off. He should have never taken his mask off. That's the one thing that bothered me about it, because he is the GOAT right now. He's the greatest luchador of all time. And I'll argue with anybody.
Yeah, I'm wondering
there's been 1,000. I love what they're doing but if you remember, Escobar started off with a mask too. And they took his mask off. These guys, I don't know if that's because these Latino guys are good looking or whatever. Andrade's one of the best I've seen in the past 10 years, but he can't speak and do the promos Escobar can do. Escobar is what WWE wants. He can speak English. He doesn't need a Selena Vega to talk for him. He can, Rey Mysterio could speak. Why did we think that Eddie Guerrero is one of the best of all time? Because his promo skills, on top of being a great freaking wrestler. I love Dragon Lee. I wouldn't be surprised if that's really a white guy with a mask on, because that's how some of these guys, these luchadors nowadays, and what was it called? The show we used to watch, Tony? Lucha Underground. They had guys that were white, Japanese. Ultimo Dragon was a luchador. That was I thought Sin Cara was going to be the next great. And then there was 2 Sin Caras. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And Rey Mysterio is still wrestling. His son's wrestling without a mask. So he can never be a luchador because he started out without a mask. So
he'd have to be a Rudos his whole life.
Escobar is one of the best talking Latino, and you know that there's a big draw. We know why Carlito's back. They own AAA. They own the biggest Mexican wrestling promotion in the South. Carlito's always been around. It's just like I don't. You guys know what I'm saying. LAX. Go ahead.
Carlito is juiced in because of his father. Carlos
Right.
Colon was an old-time promoter in the territories.
And one of the greatest Mexican wrestlers of all time also.
Well, yes.
We're talking about a guy that wrestled the Hogans and the Flairs back in the day.
Yeah,
and the Terry Funks and stuff like that. So
Abdullah the Butcher. Yeah,
Abdullah the Butcher was big down there.
Yeah, Carlos Colon is a legend in the Caribbean and in Mexico.
Fuck him.
But WWE only gives us a sample.
Bruiser Brody murder.
Yeah, but remember separating the business from the personal.
Yeah,
I
let
can
me
do that.
give my score so I don't, because I might get cut off because I know
Yeah, go ahead.
this one's gone long. I gave it a 2.5, but I do like the talent in the ring. I just didn't like. It was weird that I kept going. Why isn't he fighting Carlito? Why isn't he fighting Dragon Lee? Even after I saw what happened on SmackDown, I just thought that was the story, was Carlito versus Escobar. So that's the only reason why I'm giving it. But for wrestling wise, my actual score is a 3. I was really entertained by this match.
Mm.
I really was. And Dragon Lee's a star. He's one of those guys.
Okay,
So you gave a
Tony,
2.5 for the story and 3 for the match. So was your score
I give it a
2.75?
3. I'm saying I give it a 3.
Okay.
yeah.
My bad,
Tony,
Tony.
you give your opinion on the match and then your answer to Bobby's question, and then I'll chime in with mine. Is that cool?
Okay. The match itself, I gave it a 3. I did enjoy the match. I'm the opposite of Rob. I was more like Chris. I rather have seen Carlito. I was actually kind of looking forward to Carlito versus Escobar in this match. I think part of it is because I haven't seen Carlito a lot in some years. So I was really looking forward to that match. And with the story that they were telling with the turn and everything, I was invested in that.
Yeah.
With the whole storyline, with the turn, with everything, and being able to see Carlito for the first time one-on-one. So it kind of disappointed me that we didn't get that. The match itself was really good, but it wasn't what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I always thought with the luchadors, I thought you didn't start with a mask. I thought you had to earn the right to get the mask.
Not unless you were born into a family.
And I think with Dominic too, though, because Dominic started like way late for your typical luchador.
Dominic
correct?
is Eddie's son. That's why he doesn't have a mask.
Oh God, he is. God, he is. God, that is definitely. But you know what
That's what I think.
My mom's gonna love that I'm saying this though. We need Lucha Underground again.
Yeah, we do.
That was like some of the best wrestler that we see.
Willie Mack. Bring me some Willie Mack.
I mean, look at the stars that we got from it. Like, I love Penta, and I just saw a thing where Walter said Penta gave him the hardest chops he ever had. Which kind of surprising that it was Penta.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
To address Bobby's question real quick, I think that the disconnect here is the fact that Lucha Libre doesn't tell stories in the traditional American wrestling way. It's not based on 19th century melodrama. It's more based on folk tales of class struggle in Mexico and South America.
Yeah.
That's why the dynamic is reversed in American wrestling. The bad guys wear the masks because they're supposed to be outlaws, whereas outlaws were the heroes in Mexican and Caribbean and South American culture, so they wear the masks to be the good guys.
Yep.
So a lot of storytelling in Lucha Libre is based upon hierarchy struggle and class struggle, and that's why they tell the stories they do in Lucha Libre with family versus family, mask versus mask, and just generally who is the best. And
they even wore the mask in the movies. If they were on a soap opera over there, they wore that mask everywhere.
Yeah, and that goes all the way back to Mil Mascaras and El Santos and the old school guys. And it's just a different mode of storytelling, and I think that might be what Bobby's talking about, because
and wrestling's bigger in Mexico to me than in the United States. Like I said, their biggest movie stars were wrestlers.
Yeah.
At some point. I mean, really.
It's just when it's based in traditional lucha, which a lot of it still is south of the border, we're talking about something that is almost developed by itself, separate from American professional wrestling, and that's why the styles clash so much in that respect.
Quick
And
tags,
why
4-man tag teams, all that
yeah,
shit with Lucha. I loved
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I loved
I
it.
mean, it's about spectacle more than storytelling, and when they do storytelling and storylines, it's about something that it would be completely different than in the United States. So that's the disconnect. But
All right.
What's the
yeah,
next match, big dog?
The
yep.
next match, Zoe Starks taking on Rhea Bloody Ripley. And we know how this is going to end because Mommy is always on top of Motown.
Hold on,
Rob,
Tony, hold on.
Yeah,
Tony,
give
hold
Bobby
up, hold
first
up.
dibs because he might be on a short time.
Rob, did you say your score for the last?
Yeah, he went earlier. It was 3.25.
Yeah, I gave it 3 1/4.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right. Rhea Ripley. Oh God, yeah, Rhea Ripley. Yes. What more do you need to say with Rhea Ripley? I mean, good Lord. I mean, we knew Zoe wasn't going to win this one. It was obvious, but just the way Rhea moves in that ring is just awesome. She has it. It is 2 letters that a wrestler must have, and that's INT, it. And she's definitely got it, and probably got some in her back pocket somewhere. Oh boy, I wish I was in her back pocket. Anyway,
Wish I was Buddy Murphy.
No, I want to be me. No, I'm gonna be me with her. That's what it's gonna go down. But anyway, honestly, great match, great technical aspect of it. I could not find. It was a couple of botches here and there, but I mean, overall, it was a very good show by both of them. I got to give this a 4 as well.
All right, wow. Rob, you up?
Bobby loves this show, like me.
This was a solid match. I gave it a 3. The only problem that I had with it is that it almost seemed like a faster, better version of the Walter Miz match. It was basically the same exact concept. It's just it was better and it was faster. That was really the I mean, we knew Rio was going to go over and that Zoe Stark was going to.
Rob,
yeah,
isn't that what Rio said?
He can't say it. Hold it in, Rob. You're gonna make his vein pop out of his forehead. He can't say it.
Be that as it may, this match was solid. It's just since I'd seen it later on in the card, earlier on in the card, I couldn't rate it as high as Bobby, but it was solid and it was better than Walter and Miz, so I gave it 3.
Chris.
All right. It's Professor Chris right now. Hey, how you doing? Rhea Ripley is the best women's wrestler in the world. We all know that. But Zoe Starks, baby girl, you came out. And what I love about this match, the botches actually added to it because it showed how intense both of them were going at each other. I was just digging it. I was like, you know what? Rhea had botches with Charlotte Flair, and we all praised her for it. She did the same thing. This means this girl can wrestle up-and-comer and one of the GOATs and put on the same show, which is the whole show. This is my second favorite match of the night. Rhea Ripley is everything that I didn't know I wanted in a female wrestler. Her look, her it factor, her selling is top. She's Dolph Ziggler-like in selling. That's how good she is at selling. Her putting on a match, a storytelling in every match. Like, we've never watched a Rhea match and go, why did she do that? We watch her matches and go, God damn, that was good. Zoe is on her way. And this also strengthens what I said about the women's Survivor Series match. WWE has a plethora of top-notch women wrestlers right now. And the ones that are coming up, they're bringing them up the right way in NXT. They brought Zoe up, put her on this show. This match was better than the Gunther Miz match. Like, you could have got rid of that match. This match was that good for me. I gave it a 4.5 because I was really impressed with Zoe Starks hanging with Rhea. The botches didn't bother me. It showed me their intensity. It showed me how they were going at it. And then Rhea, once again, she's like, I'm the best in the business. Look at my look. Just tell me my look ain't right. Tell me I can't wrestle good. Tell me everything. She just checks every fucking box. I gave it a 4.5.
Marcus, you up? All right. Wow.
I loved it.
Wow.
I loved it. Zoe was wilding. She was clowning.
I did feel like she was wilding and clowning. I felt like Rhea's the GOAT. And I just felt like Rhea, there's levels to this. And I felt like Rhea just outshined her. Like, I didn't see that out of Zoe because he was in there with Rhea Ripley. Like, I felt like Rhea Ripley completely outshined her. Like, I didn't feel like Zoe should have been in the ring with her at all. Rhea was everything you guys said here.
Well, that was kind of by design, though. I mean, she was supposed to
Zoe Green, but she was the drop kicks. And
yeah, she was.
She was wilding.
Marcus is rubbing up all the
time. For me, the jury's still out on Zoe Starks, though. I gave a match of 3, and all 3 was for Rhea Ripley.
Wow.
Rhea is it. Like, she is it. She is the best wrestler in the world today. She's the best women's wrestler, and she's better than most of the men's wrestlers. She's a star. Like, in the ring, out of the ring, on the mic, look, Rhea has everything that you want.
Until the end of the show. I agree with you. Until the end.
Hey, put it like this. And she has a talent. She
is better than any woman that was in that women's war games.
No, I agree with you.
And that women's war game was star-studded.
That's what my argument is. WWE has the best division of all time right now. This is the best women's division of all time. And they got them coming up. They got girls still in NXT getting ready to move up and wild out.
And they're shorter and faster.
Yep.
And I love Rhea's finisher too. Oh my God!
And did you see how she smeared her face? Like her look was just, oh my God! I was going, who came up with this shit? This shit's she's a genius.
Probably
she's a fucking genius.
Well, you see Asuka's face paint. It was Stark kind of imitated it with the slashes.
You know when we see face paint though, who do we think of? We think of the Road Warriors. This reminds me of the Road Warriors with Rhea.
That was the Joker. She was turned into half the Joker, female Joker, half her. Mm-hmm. That's what that was tribute to. It was something that was way. I remember it was something way back where they had a female Joker that was about to. This lady was about to turn, and I can't tell you.
Well, we know Liv did the she did the Harley Quinn thing. Liv did that. I don't remember a female Joker.
Rey Mysterio did a Joker imitation for at WrestleMania.
Well, Sting did the Joker thing for Impact.
I remember that too. I was actually talking about. It was something in a comic back in the day. I think it was like two books that they did. They never did it anymore. I mean, if you find one of them, it's worth like $300,000 to where this woman was turned into the Joker.
It was a Flash comic that was called the Flashpoint Paradox. It's where Thomas Wayne becomes Batman instead of Bruce Wayne because the kid dies.
The father becomes
instead of the parent. And Martha Wayne becomes the Joker in that universe.
All right. Moving on. We got the men's war games. We got Drew McIntyre and Judgment Day taking on another all-star team. I mean, you got Sammy. I mean, the war games, you got Sammy and Jay who are like the tag-along in the all-star team.
And Cody. You know what would have put it over the top? If LA Knight was in the match. That would have put it over the top. That's it.
Oh, that's one of the problems I have. But you have a big four pay-per-view. You don't have your hottest star, LA Knight, on the show, and you don't have your top champion, Roman Reigns, on the show. That bothered me for this show. Like, how do you keep the two of your biggest names off a big four pay-per-view?
Well, we know how after we saw what happened.
No, I don't care. No, they still should have been there.
Nah, bruh. Sami Zayn shouldn't have been on there. LA Knight should have been in Sami Zayn's spot. Uso should have been there. Cody should have been there. And Sami was over. But I would have had LA Knight in Sami Zayn's spot. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree. But the man's war game, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Seth freaking Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Randall Keith Orton. Bobby, you free? He's muted. So
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, go
Let's
ahead.
do it.
Bobby.
Okay.
This was a good one. It would have been better though if they had the policy of war games match you can get blood though. This is one of the matches that I I don't like the hardcore tags and all that crap. Everybody knows that.
Right.
But I think in this match it was warranted. This is the match that it needed to be in. And it was just something missing with that. I gotta admit, it wasn't that many, again, not that many move off the cage to get attention. A lot of good spots in there. This was more of a spot fest though. This was not a wrestler and team telling a story. The girls showed them up from the beginning of the show. I just think they said, oh, well, let's just get on down. Honestly,
okay. I don't know if it's not you're sounding lovely.
I just had a problem with it to give it a full 4 because some of it was off, but the after effects of it was awesome, and we'll get to that later on the moment of the week because I'm sure the moment of the week is the same for everybody except Rob.
You see my tongue? It's bleeding because I'm biting it so damn hard.
Rob's the AEW love training.
Men's war games. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.25.
Wait, what was it?
He said 3.25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris, go ahead.
And I think that's the first time we ever had somebody score that we never saw their face on the screen.
Because I'm quicker.
We know.
What'd you give it, Chris?
This was my match of the night. I've given out 5s all year. I think this is the best WWE, like what they want us to believe in and style-wise, because I go from the 80s to the 90s to 2000 to 2010 to 2020. This was a WWE match. This is what I want. I want to see stars. First of all, the faction, they are a fact. Like I was so impressed by they came out with the mask on and they came out all at once. I love that. But then the baby faces, Cody, Jey Uso, Sammy, Seth with the biggest song since Jericho's Judas, because that's the only thing you compare it to is Jericho. They all got pops where I was thinking, like, what if this team was the Junkyard Dog, Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan? That's the kind of pops every time somebody came out. Bow, bow. And I was like, oh, I said, this is awesome. And then you got the Road Warrior pop for my favorite wrestler of all time, Randy Orton. And I go, this is the pop of the year, not knowing what was going to come. I was so impressed with this match because it was just clean. If you watch WWE, it's heroes versus villains. That's what we got. Everybody got to do their shit. But when Randy Orton came out, we know there's levels to this. the respect that they gave him, doing his moves, him doing that cutter from the dude jumped off the top of the cage, might be the move of the night. McDonald getting that cutter off the top. I was like, this is Randy Orton. And not knowing what was going to come next, I was sitting there going, okay, the guy that's going to beat Roman Reigns has arrived. He's back. Randy Orton's going to be the guy when he retires. He's going to be the all-time world champion at 17 or 18. I just believe that. He deserves it. He's still around. He's still healthy. He's still young enough to do it. But just knowing what came after that puts everything in one ball to me as one match. CM Punk coming out at the end told me who the GOAT is of today. He's the biggest. He's bigger than Reigns.
Oh.
He's bigger than MJF. This shit was epic. It was in Chicago. Y'all might have the best city for wrestling in the United States. Y'all gave him his props, and I lost my mind. I was sitting there going, I started crying a little bit, and I forgot the Road Warriors are from Chicago. So the Chicago pop is the original pop. The CM Punk pop is the greatest pop in the history of wrestling this year. And he just proved to me that he's the biggest star of all time. I gave it a 5.95. You put whatever you want down. I lost it when I said this is, oh God. WWE's got money. They got money, yo. And it's business. What's best for business. Remember that.
All right. Real quick before we move on to Rob, though. One thing Chuzu TV mentioned, though, like it was in Chicago. He's from Chicago. If it was in St. Louis, Randy would have got a bigger pop than CM Punk.
Nope.
No, he would have. Randy Orton always get a huge pop in his.
He does, but CM Punk's the biggest star. We can't say that without it happening. When he was with AEW.
I've seen Randy Orton live in St. Louis. I've been to St. Louis. They love him in St. Louis. I've
seen Kurt Angle in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying this is when you're the guy, you're the guy. Yeah, but what does that matter? Why do we have to do what if? He wasn't in St. Louis. We're in Chicago. That shit was awesome. You guys have the best fans.
Every time they're in Chicago, yes, it's awesome.
Y'all got the best fans, bro. Y'all was wild. Y'all started that scissor me shit. Remember that.
All right, Rob, go ahead.
The ending of this match I'm going to cover in a different section, so I'm going to leave that be for now. The match itself, I gave a 3.75. Higher than Bobby's, but much lower than Chris's. For the simple fact that, guys, the women just did it better. Everything that the men did in their match, the women topped, and it seemed like they were following the same pattern in the match. The only difference being that the melee weapons were a little bit different. They used a bull rope in the men's match for obvious reasons. They used a chain in the women's match, and the women used the chain far more effectively. They introduced the kendo sticks first. Then they brought in the chairs, just like the women did. And then they brought in Damian Priest, mixed it up a little bit with that extendable baton. But that was, a kendo stick is a kendo stick is a kendo stick. And then the women did more high-risk spots with more stuff in the ring. The fact that nobody could bleed took away from it, like Bobby said.
And can I say something, Rob? The fact that the women did it first does deflate the men, because we're like, if the women can go through a table and get up, why can't the man be like, hey, Bob? That's why I don't want the women doing what the men do.
Right. I mean, The stereo Hangman DDTs was a good spot, and the ending spot they did, but it just seemed like the men were going along the same template as the women, and it took me out of the match because I couldn't unsee it.
That's why the women shouldn't do what the men do in the same pay-per-view. I agree with you,
Well,
Rob. You're totally
well,
right. You're totally right.
Yeah, but 3.75. The match
That's
was
still good.
good,
That's still good.
barring the stuff that I'm going to get into later. But 3.75. Tony.
All right. First of all, I'll give it the same score as Rob. I gave it a 3.75, which is my highest rating of the night. This was my match of the night. Barely. I gave the women 3.5. I gave this 3.75. I feel the women did better as an overall wrestling match. I think this match had better moments. I'm not counting the CM Punk moment because that had nothing to do with the match. That was after the match. I think one thing Bobby had mentioned, I see somebody else mention it though, when Cody wrote, when Dominic Mysterio came out of the cage and they were booing the fuck out of him.
Oh my God.
I love Dirty Dom, future star. One thing Bobby said, he is absolutely on point on it. He needs to work that though. They boo him and he doesn't really react. I saw somebody bring this up. Dominic
this time he didn't react. He's reacted before though.
But lately he hasn't been doing it. I mean, you need to do other stuff like Dominic's daddy, Eddie Guerrero, when they were booing him like that.
Yeah.
In Chicago, would have went to his knees, did his hand, and they yelled out his club time to really get more heat. Dominic, even though he's getting a lot of heat, there's stuff he could do to draw more heat. He's going to learn that, hopefully. But that's the only thing that the kid is missing, though. Like when you're getting that reaction, dig at the crowd. Do that stuff to really just dig at them, though, you know? The cowbell was cool. It was more like a cool moment than like an effective moment, though. But it was cool to see the cowbell out there. Orton's pop was huge. Like you did talk about like how great CM Punk's pop was. Orton had a huge pop in Chicago. If this pay-per-view would have been in St. Louis and Orton's hometown, his pop would have been bigger. It would have been. Hometown does make a difference on that pop. CM Punk gets the biggest pops in Chicago, without a doubt. And they have
CM Punk was a surprise pop.
They both were surprised.
I didn't know he was showing up. Did you?
It was a rumor. I really didn't know which one's going to show up, whether it was going to be him or Orton. I figured one of them was going to be taking that last spot. To have both, I was surprised they both came back.
Well, Motown, your tap out last week was all of the rumors going into.
Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, like they have everywhere. So yeah, in my head, no, but all the rumors of him coming back, it was in the back of my head that he might come back.
Right.
But for me,
I get it.
Especially the way they did Randy with him not being on there. Triple H did a good job with that because, in my opinion, that had me thinking more that it could be Punk because we never seen Randy Orton when they announced that he came back until he actually came back.
And you told me when I said Triple H does what's best for business, you were like, Triple H don't want CM Punk back. And I said, but Triple H would. Remember we had that argument? I said, he'll do what's best for business. And this proves how big this guy is.
Hey, he had a chance to bring him back years ago and didn't know.
But no, now they have the new company that runs it. They got all that money.
But back then, Triple H was the one that was against him coming back.
Right.
Well, guys. This is going to be on the moment of the week, so let's.
Okay, going back to the other thing that they lost points on though was the finish. Be 1,000% honest with you, I did like when Orton teased the RKO on Jay. That was a good moment. But when they drew JJ Madonna into the RKO, phenomenal moment. Phenomenal moment.
Actually, I liked when Dom ate it more. because they set up McDonough as the lamb to slaughter, but when Dom took it like a champ, I think everyone enjoyed it more because it was just so
They were
satisfying.
all awesome. And Cody's cutter was awesome when he was like, let me show you mine off the rope. I was like, these guys.
But here's the problem I have with the finish, though. I mean, Dom's RKO was good, but he hit the one off the top. JD McDonough off the top. Boom, RKO. JD McDonough's out. Should have been the one to get pinned. But no, then Cody hit a regular old crossroads on Senior Money in the Bank. And
they overbooked it. They overbooked
that
it.
That was dumb as fuck to me.
Yeah, they overbooked it.
The pin because that RKO was a more spectacular move than the regular crossroads. And then instead of pinning JD, who was laid out there for slaughter, you pin Senior Money in the Bank.
And JD's the lowest name there.
Stupid finish to a good match. So that's why I lost points. Like, it could have got a much higher score. I hated the finish of this match. JD should have taken that loss, not Senior Money in the Bank. But
you're on point, Tony. You're on point, Tony. I wish I could lower my score, but I already gave it a 5. But you were on point. If you would have went before me, I might have gave it a 3.75.
Oh, shit. Okay. But now we got to move on because we like way over time. Tap out.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
SmackDown. Jesus. I don't know if y'all watched it, but what bothers me on SmackDown is how we know LA Knight's the biggest baby face on the show. Why are they pushing Austin Aries and Grayson Waller? I don't get it. Like, they're the same guy. Grayson Waller is Austin Aries 2.0, 1.1. If you want to talk about it, they're the Miz. That's what they are. I don't get why they're on the show. I don't get why they push it. It bugs me that they're putting them against LA Knight and God. Let me look at my notes real quick.
Because WWE wants to hide
LA Knight and KO. Yeah, so you want us to sacrifice LA Knight and KO for Grayson Waller and Austin Aries? Are you kidding me? That's what you want me to do? Sacrifice? Fuck KO. I love KO, but KO is one of those wrestlers that's in a space that he can't get out of. If there was a RHO again, he would be great. In WWE, he can't be the big guy, and he's in the middle. And they don't have him wrestle for the Intercontinental title. But why are they sacrificing LA Knight, who is money? He wasn't on the pay-per-view. They got him in a feud with two guys that are the same guy, Grayson and Austin Aries. I just don't fucking get it, man. I hate it. That's my fucking tap out of the week.
All right, Rob, what's up?
Last night, I was ready to come on this show and I was going to go full Mr. No Fun. I was going to eviscerate and gut that moment with every knife in my arsenal. But after hearing that Chris was touched by it, I can't come on here and be the full asshole that I wanted to be. Because I love the Gadget Man, and I respect the fact.
If Chris was touched by it, I would go.
I respect.
Look at me, Tony. Thank you, Rob.
I respect the fact that Chris had a moment that reminded him of his childhood, so I'm not gonna go all knives out on this. But I'm sorry, the Punk return is my tap out of this week because WWE has not changed. They haven't. And the reason that I'll answer Chris's question. The reason that they're holding back LA Knight and advancing people that the audience don't want is because this company has not changed. And as personally insulted as I am by the fact that Punk meant absolutely nothing of what he has said in the past 11 years, because he crawled back to the company that made him sick. And the only reason that he did it was because he's pissed off at the elite. And I get that. He was in the right then.
It
But
wasn't
this
money, Chris.
WWE is going to chew him up and spit him out the exact same way they did before. Cody has already slammed into the glass ceiling. He's not going to go any higher. That WrestleMania main event was as big as he's going to get. And they don't want him. They don't want LA Knight, even though the crowd does. And they don't want CM Punk. They just signed him to rub it in Tony Khan's face. And CM Punk signed it because he's vindictive. And all he's ever wanted was to be on top. And he never meant it when he said that he wanted to change the world. And neither did Cody. They went right back to WWE when they thought they could get an advantage and Vince McMahon was gone. Well, guys, I'm sorry, but he's not gone. And even if he were, his flunkies are still in charge. Nick Khan and Bruce Pritchard and Stephen Dunn, Kevin Dunn are still there. And they're going to run that company. And Ari Emanuel, the CEO of Endeavor, is the guy that put him in that position in the first place. So, as much as I hate to do this, I'm sorry, but WWE is still WWE, and they're going to flush this down the toilet because the customer is always wrong. And I mean, I was going to steal some of Mastermind's material and go off on an
talk to him that day.
But I love Chris too much. I can't do it. So I'm just going to
Love
say
you too, Rob.
Well, I love you, and it's Thanksgiving weekend, so I'm going to eat some humble pie today and some more later on during the new segment. But let me just I'll end it right here and say that as much as you guys enjoyed that huge pop, and it was a huge pop, WWE is WWE, and they're going to flush it down the toilet sooner rather than later. And WWE is going to end up being in 5 years in the same problems that Disney's movies are in now. But that's my tap out.
Tony, I'm going to save mine, and I'm going to combine mine because I want to go last when it comes to moment of the week.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to do my tap out now. I'm going to go last for tap out and then first on moment. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm doing it different this week. I had a Sunday conversation in Motown's wrestling group. If you're not in Motown's wrestling group, you need to join. But Sunday conversation, of course, about CM Punk. And my tap out is going to be negative comments about CM Punk's return. So kind of piggybacking on Rob a little bit. Tony Williams said, man, Stephen Stanley said, give it 6 months. And then Sean Price says, bad move. Still gonna burn WWE. I did comment back on him because I don't think the WWE is gonna let him burn them. But we did have 3 people that didn't seem to be too big on it. And I have seen other places where like people do feel the same way as you, Rob. So you may be in the minority on the panel, but there are others that feel the same way. So 608 now, 508. So we're gonna move on to moment of the week. And my moment of the week, of course, is CM Punk. So the reason I'm doing this is like I want to read the positive comments from the group. Hopefully, Motown's wrestling group is watching. I told you guys I was going to share your comments, and I am. Joshua said, "Fucking genius." Kimberly couldn't agree with you more, girl. She says, "Where's Skippy?" I'll be seeing Skippy later. Put it on AJ Light. Dice. And she also said, I'm good with it. always like Punk. Hopefully he calmed down, but either way, glad that he's back. Anthony Wilcox says, best for business and controversy creates cash. Adam Coach Baby from Motown's Wrestling Group said, not a Punk fan, but potential rivalry with Rollins does give the World Heavyweight Championship some relevance. So he, even though he's not a fan, he was happy with it. And Charles may have had my favorite comment. He said, I pray that goes better than AEW did. This truly seems like hell has frozen over with this moment. I couldn't agree with you more, because it does feel like a hell froze over, but it is the best thing for business, in my opinion, though. It was smart for business. It was best for business. In my opinion, I don't think this is going to bury AEW with this move. AEW is second place. Is going to stay in their role. I just think it's a good move to give the fans what they want. We hopefully CM Punk, with his last couple of years, can go out in a better light than his last run with WWE and his last run with AEW. The Chicago fans absolutely love this, so I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going. I don't think it's going to be the sky's the limit for him. I don't see him like beating Roman Reigns or anything like that, though. But if he can end positively and get some digs on AEW, and Rob, I do agree with you. It's about the digs. It is. Like the WWE is sick at AEW for some reason. They're going to show them how it's really done. And CM Punk, he didn't do it for the money. He did it to get back at them. He's mad at the Bucks. He's mad at Tony Khan. No, like Bobby said, like, hey, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's what this move was. It is what it is. It's pretty, but it's good for ratings, because we even said when CM Punk went to AEW, we said that return would have been a hell of a lot better in WWE, because with the machine behind it, the sky's the limit.
Well, one thing I will say is, okay. Let me transition into my moment of the week here. Okay, my moment of the week happened last night when me and the Mastermind together went to Wrestle Arts 13 in Indianapolis. And that company, I feel, is an up-and-coming promotion that does independent wrestling right.
I told you.
On the recommendation of Chris, and it was a good recommendation, we saw some outstanding professional wrestling in Indianapolis last night. And I would watch that event on IWTV over and over and over again, rather than any of the things that I saw last night. Now, I'm gonna do a Mastermind mannerism here, and I'm gonna say, fuck the ratings. Fuck the ratings. As far as I'm concerned, the needle can get stuck up the devil's ass.
Whoa, what? Why are you mad at MJF?
Well, you know,
he said he was going to be Bad Rob today. So
based on past performance, I can get away with that, even though he's a face. But Wrestle Arts last night, I believe I saw the future of professional wrestling, and it sure as hell wasn't in Chicago last night. It was in Indy. That's how much I enjoyed that show, and that's why it's my moment of the week. I would rather see that show than the highest rated thing that WWE could ever put on, because WWE doesn't care about us.
You want Bobby to go before
he wants to go last.
Okay. I disagree with everything everybody said. CM Punk, and these are facts. We know he was the ratings, the needle mover in AEW. We already saw it. We've had those shows. We know Triple H and CM Punk was the only thing that it wasn't McMahon. Y'all keep saying WWE like it's the old WWE. No, they're owned by an entertainment company that wants the bottom line to be money and ratings. Logan Paul, CM Punk. They want the guys that move the needle, because that's how you make money. It's not, we keep saying WWE this, Vince. No, it's not even that no more. We're talking UFC, entertainment, movies, This company that owns WWE now is looking at the bottom line, and it has to have dollar signs at the end of it. This guy showed up in Chicago, and I agree with Tony. Maybe Orton would have got a bigger pop in St. Louis, but this is the one guy we can say in any city would have got a Road Warrior pop, and we would have believed it. We would say CM Punk. That's how good he is. He's the best. He's the best wrestler. He is the top superstar in the world. He just came out on. You said there was no Roman Reigns on this show. And you know what? I forgot about him because I got to see CM Punk. I got to see Randy Orton, who's my favorite wrestler. I forgot about Roman Reigns. I did. That's a what if. They're not in St. Louis. They were in Chicago, and CM Punk is back, and we're going to see city to city what kind of pop he gets. He has one of the best songs.
This is big as a pop anywhere else other than Chicago.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When he was with AEW, he was getting the same pops.
No, he was not like Chicago.
Chicago's the best wrestling city, Tony. I've already said that. I can't. If you're the best, now we got to compare who's next. I can't go with the best. I get you, bruh. But are you saying he's not the biggest star in wrestling?
No, he's not.
Are you saying no? Are you saying he's not the biggest star in wrestling?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
you're saying he is, right?
No,
he's the biggest star in wrestling. It's evident. He showed it. He went up against WWE with a brand new company. If he went to TNA, we would start talking about TNA again. CM Punk's the biggest star in wrestling, and he doesn't have a belt. I'll argue with you. Make it a show. Make it a show. I'll do the argument with you. CM Punk's the biggest star in wrestling.
He was the biggest.
No, in wrestling. In wrestling. In the world.
Okay, guys.
He's the biggest star.
Okay.
So my moment of the week is CM Punk, and we all know he. Even if you don't like him, he's the biggest star in wrestling. That's a fact.
No,
it is.
No, far from it.
All right, are we ready?
Bigger than Reigns.
Okay. This is the reason why I combine the two, is because I need to give you an even flow on why one is you tapped out and why the other is the moment of the week. My you tapped out moment is AEW. Period. I know I sit up here and sometimes I do joke. I will admit it when I say you tapped out as AEW. Sometimes I do say it as a joke. I just like seeing Rob's face turn a little bit sometimes when I say that. It's kind of fun. But honestly, after this weekend, and I have been on about AEW for the longest when it comes to treating the employees, how they treat the employees, things of that nature. What CM Punk did was got robbed. This proves it. This hiring right here and this comeback last night proves not only that, but also the media scrum, and I'm going to go into that in a little bit, proves how lacking AEW is and how pig-headed they were not to listen to somebody that knew what the heck they were doing. They set Punk up. They got rid of Punk. They treated Punk like a punk. And guess what? He sat there. Hold on, Chris. He sat there. He brushed his shoulders off. He laughed at the elite. He laughed at those reporters that was talking trash about him. He laughed at Tony Khan talking about he feared for his life. And he walked off. And he did the impossible. The very company that said they would never have him back opened their arms, and he walked through the doors to a hellstorm. Everybody went nuts because AEW was better. Even if he did go to WWE, the crowd is not going to accept him because he just turned on them, and we're the elite company. You know what? Omega and them just basically took their foot and stick it up their own behind. Now, there's an argument about who's the best wrestler and all this stuff, which falls into my thing. And I'm sorry, you can't say CM Punk is not the best one.
I can easily
Anywhere
say
he
that.
goes,
There's better wrestlers than CM Punk.
Hold on,
Right
wait.
now, it's
Tony,
2023.
hold on. I'll let y'all talk. Let me go. The reason I say that is some people may execute moves a little cleaner than CM Punk. All right. You got very few, but you do have those out there that can cut a promo better than CM Punk. But a wrestler is not just one of those things. He must have everything. And if you combine the number of the two, yes, he's better than probably 99% of the wrestlers that's out there on the market. Whenever he goes somewhere, whenever he does something, if he goes to Mindy's Muffins and gets a muffin, they are ordained with so many requests because they want something from CM Punk. And that right there is what makes your company money. If a man sits up there and wears a gray sweater, walks out, does a promo, and 90% of your viewers want that gray sweater, and they're willing to pay Google the money to get it, sorry, that means you're the best. Because you're drawing that money to that company. Now, technically, no, I wouldn't say he is. I love Daniel Bryan.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But when you talk about the overall game, CM Punk is drawing you more money than Daniel Bryan. CM Punk is drawing you more money than Zack Sabre Jr. CM Punk is drawing you more money than Will Ospreay. CM Punk is probably
Can
going to
CM Punk draw more money than Roman Reigns?
Let me finish,
Yeah,
Tony.
he will. He's back now. He
Let
will.
me finish. Let me finish. CM Punk is going to draw you more money than probably Tony Khan and Heritage if you keep going with them and do it the right way. The fact of the matter is, we have to look at this as business, and this is why I also give Moment of the Week to WWE and CM Punk, is because Triple H was past all of that, said what's best for business, how can I work this, and it's going to work into an advantage to where they make money. He didn't go to a place that made him sick because it's not the same place. Vince McMahon is not in charge. Vince McMahon is a 12% owner now. It is that Adasan or whatever his name is, that's the head of it now. And they don't even get involved with it because they didn't even know he was coming. That was all Triple H. So we see whether it was a sword laid, it was laid with Vince McMahon. But this is the problem. And this is why AEW, and I'm going to say it right now, 3 years they're gone. The reason is because they don't know how to take business over personal. They don't know how to take business over friendship. They have proven time and time again, because if CM Punk was that bad in the AEW locker room, WWE would not have touched him. They wouldn't even thought about bringing him in, no matter how much ratings they have, because they have that luxury. So some of that, with that thing right there, and especially this part when they talked about Jade Cargill not being up to par, basically because it's not her fault that they weren't up to par. It was because they couldn't teach her the correct way. You see fundamental. Remember, I've always said, fundamentals. You see the fundamentals that AEW is lacking, and this is why they are getting their butt whooped to this day. Last night, took the drill, had the Undertaker standing behind him with the moonshine, and put the nail in the coffin. AEW is no more. They're not competitive. They will never be competitive until they get rid of some people in that company. And I'm sorry, Tony Khan will not do it. And I have a lot of respect for people that believe in dying with the ship, but this ship could have been avoided being sinking by Tony Khan doing the right thing, and he did. One of the week, all day long, WWE, CM Punk, perfect move, gained a cold corner market with Chicago, gain that back. And Tony Khan can't even come back to his own hometown anymore. Because what? Next sales, 1,500 sales at the United Center. Guaranteed AEW. 1,500. That's all they're going to sell.
And watch how many guys come back to WWE that they want. Like a Samoa Joe.
No. Chris. This is what's worse. Look how many guys WWE is going to gain from AEW because they take a name out of it. Now, secretively, MJF did sign a contract. I bet he didn't. He wish he didn't right now.
Yeah.
FTR just signed a contract. You know, you got a Mega now. Okay, they just signed a contract.
They're in a 4-year.
Yeah, Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks or Hobbs. Woo!
Powerhouse Hobbs get over there. It's a done deal.
I love Hobbs.
But did you say a few weeks back that WWE is going to be in trouble because they're not going to pay nobody?
Oh, they got too much money now. They got a lot of money now because they got bought.
But hold on. This is the difference right now. And the move that they made with CM Punk. And this is why I said CM Punk is always your key. Think about who I said. Ricky Starks, Hobbs, MJF. All people who respected Punk versus the Elite.
MJF's Cody's best friend. But
MJF already signed with AEW.
Yeah, I think he signed a 3-year contract. I think he did. So
MJF got the conversations for going. He's already.
But he's young enough. He'll be there eventually.
2027.
FTR signed a 4-year.
But like I said, when you look at it, you always follow the person that you respect. Those guys
we didn't expect Jay to jump. And look, Jay jumped ship.
Like I said,
this is the best thing that's going to happen to her career. It's coming to WWE.
Definitely the best thing to happen.
Hold on.
Movies,
AEW.
Everything.
AEW is about to take a downfall.
Yeah.
How far they go is up to Tony Khan.
TNA.
Moment of the week. No, don't insult TNA like that.
They're about to become TNA, bruh. Watch.
But
Gentlemen,
congratulations. Hold on. Wait, let me say this. Congratulations to WWE on the side of the CM Punk. Wrestle Arts last night. I'm sorry. That would have been my number one until I walked in the door and saw that happen. But I hope they
didn't he look good though? I thought he was gonna do a pipe bomb. I was waiting for him to sit down and be like, let me talk about how Triple H didn't want me to come back and F you guys. I thought he was about to do another pipe bomb when he sat down. I was like, oh God, do it.
But it wasn't just Triple H that wanted him there. He didn't want to be there either. And he made that perfectly clear.
No, but remember I told you a long time when we first met, it's not even just about money. When you're one of the best wrestlers in the world, you're going to be sought out after. This is the premier company in the world. And they who else have they followed? They fell out with Hogan. They fell out with the Ultimate Warrior. They bring him back. This isn't new. I got examples. I got examples.
WWE is bigger than any wrestler, though.
CM Punk's the best. He's the best in the world.
Well, guys,
do you think the WWE going to suffer if they didn't have it?
They're not going to suffer from this.
I couldn't be farther apart from you guys on all of this stuff. But
your favorite matches of the last 2 years were CM Punk and MJF.
That was like 2 years ago.
I'm just saying that I know he's a fan.
That was yesterday.
What if AJ Lee comes back, Tony? What? Oh, now you listening. What if AJ Lee comes back?
But she can't wrestle no more. She can't
That's a
wrestle.
package deal.
She cannot wrestle.
She could be a manager. She
Like
could be a
hope so.
manager.
like Bobby said, the whole thing could fall apart for AEW. I don't believe it will. I think that
It will.
WWE is going to screw this up. And once everybody figures out that Punk has been dishonest this whole time, his 15 minutes of
Rob,
fake back.
what did he do?
How was he
He's just drunk.
dishonest?
He's
He
a
was
draw.
dishonest.
How,
He was
You pay
dishonest.
people who are a draw.
He was
Chris,
dishonest
let him answer.
because he said he was never going to come back to that company, that he was that WWE was morally reprehensible to him, and that the whole place made him sick in the first place because they didn't care. He sold out.
Rob, is he the first person that ever said that?
Of
Have
course
you?
he's not. Cody said the
Okay,
same
then.
damn thing.
That's why I'm saying,
He's
Rob,
willing
calm down. He's not
But
the
anyway.
first. They come back. They always
But
come back.
They said they wanted to change the world and they lied. They didn't
No.
want to change the world. They just wanted more for themselves.
They got bought out
And
by
they
an
proved
entertainment
it.
company that wants to make money. And he's the biggest drawing wrestler.
The entertainment company doesn't give a damn what WWE does. And
Then
that's
they
why
wouldn't
they're
have
gonna
bought him,
continue
Rob, if they
business
didn't give a
as
damn.
usual.
They wouldn't have bought him. They do give a damn.
They want business as
Guys,
usual.
guys, we can table this for later. We already
I'm
over
sorry.
time.
I'm sorry.
So we
Plan
still
a
got another
one-on-one between me and Rob. Plan it. Put it down.
AEW is my hill to die on. So,
And you're probably
you're about to get
die.
killed, bro.
Yeah,
okay.
Rob. Can I come to your funeral and speak and
I
sing?
will gladly fall on the sword.
But I think,
Anyway, we'll
I don't
table
think that
this for
AEW can
later
go out
so
of
we can
business
move
if
on.
CM Punk sign with them. They can go out of business.
No,
but
they're
he
going to
can
become
stay with
TNA.
But let's move on. 1-on-1. Full Gear versus Survivor Series. So we're going to have the top 5 matches per our ratings for Full Gear going against the entire card for Survivor Series. Coming in at number 5, we have the 6-man tag team. The first match I'm announcing is all going to be Full Gear. The second one's going to be Survivor Series. 6-man tag team match. Team Sting, Darby Allin, and I almost said Edge.
Adam Copeland.
The rated R superstar Adam Copeland versus King Christian, Luchasaurus, and the man that I'm so jealous of because he was in between Nick Wayne's mother before I was in between them legs. Nick Wayne. The 6-man tag match averaged a 2.69, and damn, what was the 5th one?
Yeah, I gave that one the highest score that day.
Series was 5th place was Walter versus Miz, which averaged a 3.06. Rob, go first. Which match did you like better?
The 6-man was better.
Bobby, can you go?
Yeah, Gunther.
Chris?
I was the highest on the 6-man match. That match was fantastic. It was way above the Gunther match.
All right. I'm gonna go. Oh, wait a minute, I did this wrong. Sorry, I'm putting out a scores too. I agree with you guys on 6-man tag match. I think the 6-man tag match was better than Miz and Gunther.
Okay.
Second one. The Golden Jets and the Young Bucks. And that's taking on Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. The Golden Jets and the Young Bucks average a 2.88. Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee average a 3.3. Bobby, go first.
Do I really got to answer that one?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we had you go first to get it out the way. Rob, go next.
I agree with Bobby. Dragon Lee versus Escobar was the better match.
Chris.
I hate you, Tony. I mean, you're just reading numbers. I never thought I would say it. I'm going in with the Golden Jets and the Young Bucks because I didn't think the Dragon. It wasn't the right match. Dragon Lee versus Escobar should have been Carlito.
You hate me, huh?
Oh, I love you, but I hate you.
Well, motherfucker, I hate you too.
You know I love you, but I have to kill you.
Today on the dating game.
I hate saying these 4 words. I agree with Chris.
Agree with Chris. Those are my favorite 4 words.
I like the tag team match more. And the crazy part about it for the exact same reason. Like, I would have preferred for Carlito to have been in there, though. So, for the exact same reason, the exact same.
And we score matches for the pay-per-view, not, you know what I mean? So sometimes we might put a higher score for a lesser match because of that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So.
Because sometimes, yeah, some of our scores is affected by, like, the flow of the show, how it's booked, and all that stuff. I get it. Next up, I'm not going to read all the tag teams, though, because everybody remember the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Ladder Match, which Ricky Stark and Big Bill won, going against Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Starks. Now, that came in third. They came in third. Both War Games beat them. Now, the 4-Way Ladder Match got an average of 3.5. Rhea Ripley them got an average of 3.6. So very close on the ratings as well. Bobby, go first.
We already know Rhea.
Mommy's always on top.
You can't top Rhea.
Bob, go next.
Ladder match.
Chris. If Bobby could do that strut on the top rope, Bobby would be my favorite wrestler in the world. Because that's the move of the night. It wasn't a move. I got to go with the ladder match just because of the strut. I loved it. He went off that match. Ricky Starks. He went off.
Sorry.
He was awesome.
Mommy is always on top. Always. And Motown's always on bottom when Mommy's on top. But I gotta pick the ladder match as well, too, though.
You have to. Ricky was clowning.
Yeah.
Plus FTR. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I can't top Rhea.
This is getting kind of scary here. All right. Next match. Texas Death Match. Swerve Strickland and Adam Page versus the Men's War Games. Now, Swerve and Adam Page average a 4.69. The Men's War Games average just under 4. Bobby, go first.
This is a tough one. But honestly, I got to go with Strickland and Hangberg. And it wasn't even for Hangberg. It was for Strickland.
I hear you there. Chris, what do you say?
That's one of the best. We grew up watching Dusty Rhodes and Texas Death Match. This was one of the best Texas Death Matches in maybe the last 20 years. I got to go with the Texas Death Match, man. And it was Page's best match. If he would have been like this is how we would have loved him as a champion.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. What did happen?
Oh shit! No, I'm piggyback off of Chris. This was First of all, Strickland is a star,
superstar,
star. Like WWE dropped the ball with sort of Strickland, and he don't need to go back to WWE. He need to keep his ass at AEW because they're using him the way he need to be used. But oh my God, this Hangman Adam Page,
was awesome.
Promos that he was cutting leading up to it.
He was wilding, man.
And this feud, this was the only time, other than when he was in the early days when he was drinking in the bar, because I can relate to that shit. But this was the Adam Page I would have loved this scene. I completely
And
agree with you on
everybody
that.
has a moment. This might be the moment that changes his wrestling career.
Now, will Rob
Okay.
shock us and pick the men's war games?
Yeah,
Hell no.
because it ain't with AEW, so you know he wasn't doing it.
Hey, I did pick the Escobar Dragon Lee match.
Yeah,
Wait,
you're right.
wait. He picked the match that neither one of us picked, Chris.
It's not even close. The Texas Death Match by 2 country miles.
Yes.
2 country miles?
Yeah.
Rob's showing his Caucasianness today. He lives in Bloomfield. I'm on County Line Road 200 East, 75 West North.
All right. Last match of the night. The number one match, the match of the night for AEW, average at 4.81, was MJF and Jay White. The women's war game match.
God.
The women's war games came out at 4.1. 4.2, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go first on here because I haven't gone first yet. Even though like the other AEW drew the higher rating as far as how we scored it, I gotta honestly say that I enjoyed the women's war games more. I thought the women really showed up and showed out. It wasn't my match of the night for the Survivor Series, but I really was impressed with the women. MJF and Jay White. If I had a choice between watching 2 matches again, I would pick the women's war games over that match, and that's the reason why I'm picking women's war games. Rob, go next.
MJF Jay White. It was a more complete match. It was a long-term storyline. Not to say that the women's match wasn't, but if I had to pick between the two, I would watch the MJF White match again.
Chris, who you got?
This was the best and the most toughest one. This was MJF's coming out party for me, and I saw the dog collar match with the GOAT CM Punk. Jay White still wasn't the guy like for a main event to me. He just, as good as he was for MJF, they never established him. We all thought Juice Robinson was better than Jay White. Everybody said that.
I will be honest with you. I think that's what took away from me on this match. It's like, as good as MJF was, did we honestly believe that Jay White was going to win?
This is why I'm taking MJF Jay White, though. Was any woman in that match better than MJF in his match? He was phenomenal. The move, that cutter where he jumped over the rope, to this day, I can't find anywhere where anybody, a luchador's never done it. I've never seen. Orton is the king of the cutter. Diamond Dallas, nobody's ever done that cutter. I've never seen it. The elbow, when the table broke, because they set it up to break and didn't have it put together. And he goes, you know what? I'll put my career on the line and do an elbow from 10 feet high, which he should never do. And he did it and bounced up and wrestled for another 20 minutes. MJF, all the way. That guy, my wrestler of the year.
Bobby.
Oh boy. By 18 country miles, it was a woman's War Games match. I don't give a The reasons Chris just said that he liked it and why he rated it high is the reasons why I despise that match. He should not have been jumping off of that stuff. He is their main guy. He should not be trying to get hurt. He should be preserving himself for the story to continue. And this is something that I'm sorry. This is something that because you're doing dangerous stuff, don't mean you're the danger that you can pull out the best performance. And it hurt him a little bit in this one. He should have did his thing. He should have did a thing, and he should have left because Jay White was a joke. Jay White should be in the back of a kindergarten line waiting to go to recess. He should not be in the ring with somebody like MJF. The man needs a step ladder to get milk off the top of the shelf. How are you going to fight somebody like MJF? It was ridiculous. It was the dumbest thing I've seen. I want to smack all of them. Because I want to smack Jay White in the face, first of all, for allowing a little stripper like that to even take over and be leader of the Bullet Club. And I want to smack Jay White for thinking he's the leader of the Bullet Club. Juice Robinson has always been the focal point of that group. And Jay White, to me, and I'm not saying he's as bad as the Bucks, but it's like the Bucks. He's a parasite. He's getting fed off of others' accomplishments. Nobody on this panel can tell me, and nobody out there that's listening and is in the comments or in the comment room can tell me that if you took Jay White out of it, the guns, and Juice Robinson was behind it. But you couldn't tell me that they would throw out the same way if it was like Jay Robinson gone and it was just the guns and Jay White. Would they be as successful? No. No way. If anything with a combination of Jay White in it is not going to be successful. But those three as a unit, it's going to be dynamic. They need to get rid of the kindergarten. Send them back to school. Pack them up with a lunchbox. One of those old Transformers lunchboxes that they had that was metal. Put the peanut butter and jelly on one side. Put the juice on the other. Just to remind them of Juice Robinson when he's gone. Little small bag of chips. Chat it up real nice. Turn to the side. Oh, well, no. We're not going to go there. But
why not? Yeah, I can't say it.
But their tag team matches versus FTR might be tag team matches of the year when we get to that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. On Collision.
No way on God's green earth Jay White should be considered the head of anything when he can't even climb a ladder and be taller than anybody. Sorry. He got to go.
All right. The one-on-one. Now, before I reveal the results, I think we kind of already know who won. For me personally, Survivor Series just kind of felt like filler matches in between the War Games, but it was all about the return of CM Punk. Honestly, it was all about the return of Randy Orton and CM Punk, to be honest with you. I think Randy Orton...
That's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough.
For me personally, I did enjoy the matches of AEW more than WWE's pay-per-view, but those moments, I like the moments though. So those moments for me really did it for me. But overall though, AEW did the smiley wiggle on Survivor.
But you know what? It ain't fair. WWE had 6 matches. AEW had 98 matches on the pay-per-view, and we took the top 5 matches out of 98. So their numbers gamed up on us.
Yeah, because WWE is dead in the water. Like you got Walter and Miz, like it Walter.
It wasn't needed though. It wasn't even needed. If that match wasn't on there, we would have never been like, man, I wish Walter and Miz was on there.
But it was 13-6. AEW, we picked AEW got 13 picks. WWE got 6.
So yeah, the numbers game beat us.
No, but the thing is though, as we're doing one-on-one though, we're rating the wrestling matches and stuff though.
Right.
No matter what we say about AEW, we can't argue the fact that they put on good matches.
They got talent.
And as great as the Wargames were though, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, and the crazy part about it is like the Texas Death match wasn't even the #1 match in Full Gear because that was my favorite match.
That's #1 on any other pay-per-view though. You know that, right? Any pay-per-view this year.
It's despite the fact that Hangman Adam Page disturbed me drinking the blood. Like, I still have a problem with that spot.
Yeah, but now when you think about it, that's some cool shit. You sick motherfucker. I would have went, you sick mother effer. Damn you.
That's the crazy
No,
thing.
no,
There. So
that spot
as much
disturbed
as
me.
it disturbs me, it sticks out in my head. I remember that match.
I'm
And that's
not
one of
sure
those
they
things.
didn't do that in ECW. I promise you. I'm not sure that it happened in ECW.
That spot disturbed me too, but the thing is, if you can't know where the edge of something is until you push the envelope.
Yeah.
So now we
Yeah.
know that vampirism in
If that was a
professional
blood
wrestling is
pack
the thing
and
to
that's
know.
the blood he drank, we don't know that either.
I think it was a legit blade job because you could see the free
That makes it even
flowing.
better.
You could
I'm
see
a
the free
zombie
flowing.
vampire kind of guy.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Swerve knew how to blade before he got in there, and
Yeah, he did.
showed skill in how he did it. So yeah,
But
that's what made that spot.
and that was a Texas death match. That had everything that we all love about wrestling. And we I mean, that's what you want. They keep saying the brick was a dummy brick.
cinder
It
block.
looked like a good brick to me when he threw his ass on it, shoulder first. I don't know if it's rubber or not. I'm not there.
However they gimmicked it, it looked devastating.
It looked good.
It definitely looked good.
And then
All right.
didn't he break it eventually afterwards? And it crumbled
over his head. Yeah.
So I mean, that was a good spot.
Are we
All
ready
right, but
for?
now I'm about to turn the show over to Rob because we got the last segment of the night, which is Rob's segment. So I'm not even going to try to explain this. I'm going to let him do it. So Rob, it is on you. And I can't wait to let you know who I'm booking.
Okay, this is a new segment that I came up with called Book It Yourself, BIY. The concept is I come up with a scenario to give to the panel that you will book a match around that scenario, give a 2 or 3 sentence description of the angle that goes along with it, and the ending of the match if you want to. And let me set up the scenario and then I'll go first so you guys get the idea. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that TKO purchases the rights to Celebrity Deathmatch and they want to revise the series. They want to promote a match at WrestleMania that features at least one celebrity fighting in the match. How would you go about that, and who would win? My scenario is kind of a retro of a reenactment of the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal that I call the A-Listers Battle Royal, except that the odds are even. You get 10 celebrity guest stars from Hollywood and other sports versus 10 WWE superstars, even Steven, and the half of the Battle Royal is unknown, so that the WrestleMania match, all of the entrances and all those elaborate entrances actually make sense and matter. The angle, Logan Paul, The Miz, David Arquette, Johnny Knoxville, and Pat McAfee start running down WWE fans coming out there saying, we're celebrities. You should be glad that we're here. We move the needle and raise the ratings. And you guys should be happy about it and kiss our ass. And guys like LA Knight, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens and Alpha Academy take exception to all that, and they all enter into the Battle Royal. Way it works is that the celebrities get some high quality football and basketball players out there to use as a shield during the Battle Royal. This is the first night, the first match of the second night of WrestleMania. It comes down to 4 people. LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville, and Logan Paul. Okay, but there's one person on the wrestler side that hasn't been announced yet. Knoxville eliminates Sami Zayn to be a dick, and it comes down to 2-on-1. Music hits, and The Rock comes out. He's the last entrance, but you don't know who he's siding with because he's Hollywood too. He shakes Logan Paul's hand, but then he drags his ass in, rock bottoms his ass, Humpty Dumpty's him over the top rope, and then he bitch slaps Johnny Knoxville. He takes one shot over the top rope and he's gone. Then LA Knight shakes The Rock's hand, but then LA Knight low blows him to turn himself heel and set up the match for next year between Knight and Rock. Knight eliminates Rock. WWE wins, Hollywood loses, and during the whole thing, they advertise Celebrity Deathmatch. Go watch it.
Okay. Like that. All right, can I go next?
Of course.
All right. My match. I'm not doing a tag team match. One celebrity, one wrestler. My celebrity. Now, this ain't WWE booking. As Rob said, we're booking it ourselves. And
Yes.
I'm somewhat pulling Tony Khan. I'm booking a match at WrestleMania that's going to amuse me. My
That's the
celebrity
whole idea.
is LeBron James.
Actually, I had him as one of mine too, but go ahead.
I'm loving this already. I'm loving this already.
The Lakers are getting their ass kicked in a basketball game. And sitting in the front row is Carmelo Hayes. Talking shit.
Ooh.
You suck. Oh man, just retire. Like this giving LeBron James all kind of shit for being fucking old. And they start jaw jacking and everything. LeBron getting in his face. They break him up and everything. Lakers going to lose. This is on Sunday. On Tuesday, NXT, Carmelo Hayes come out for his match. Him and Trick doing their thing. LeBron James in the front row. Like, what the hell you doing here, old man? They start jaw jacking, get the shit going again. Carmelo like pushes LeBron. LeBron jumps the thing. Security pulls him off. Boom. Now we set up the match. Because Carmelo Hayes has been talking mad shit about LeBron James being old, just need to retire. And LeBron James want to be some respect into the kid. And he was like, you don't understand. Your jersey would be another jersey hanging up there with all the basketball jerseys that I put up there. You just going to be another jersey up there. So they do their promos. They do this shit for weeks leading up to WrestleMania. WrestleMania night 1. I got this midway through night 1. And it's an old school squash match. LeBron James come out there. He tried to do his thing, and he is not in his league. When I say old school squash match, Carmelo Hayes beat LeBron James like Butterbean beat Bart Gunn. Not even close. The match gonna go like 5 or 6 minutes. You know why it's gonna go that long? Because Carmelo Hayes gonna hit his stuff, move after move after move. 1, 2, lift the shoulder up. He's gonna drag this shit out. He's gonna completely embarrass and humiliate LeBron James in front of millions and millions of people.
And the millions.
And millions.
So it's like LeBron James playing in the playoffs.
Right.
Oh,
like and
I
you know
can't say
in the
it.
front row? Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Enjoying every one of this shit. And once the match is over, Jordan comes into the ring, and you don't know what side he's gonna side with. You don't know if Jordan's gonna side with LeBron. It's kind of fun you did that shit too with The Rock, because I did it with Jordan. Or you don't know if he's gonna side with Carmelo Hayes. He's jaw jacking with Carmelo Hayes. He goes in to check on LeBron. He throws some water in his face, wakes him up, picks him up. Boom! Michael Jordan hit him with the Stone Cold Stunner.
See,
and he leans over him and say, I'm the GOAT, bitch.
See, I thought this was going to be fun.
Oh, I had a good time with this. I didn't know. I was going back and forth who was a celebrity I was gonna put in the ring with LeBron James. But when you said celebrity, I'm like, oh yes, LeBron James is my guy. But I just like Carmelo Hayes made sense though with the jersey he always does though. So
And Carmelo Anthony is one of his best friends.
I can't wait to hear what Chris is going to be. This is going to be
So,
fun.
Paul Bearer has his faction: The Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind, and Big Van Vader. And he's like, we're not strong enough. I want to add to this. I'm going to get Michael Myers. And which is Jeffrey Jew Courtney plays Michael Myers. He goes to Hollywood and he's like, I want Michael Myers to join my evil faction with The Undertaker and Kane.
Real quick, Chris, he's my favorite character
Me
in horror
too.
movies.
Oh, as soon as he said this, I put Undertaker and Michael Myers together.
I love it. I'm loving it already.
So he goes to get Michael Myers. Guess what happened? Michael Myers kills Paul Bearer. He stabbed him. He pulled the knife out and stabbed the shit out of him 20 times. And then had a sandwich and drank a juice box and walked away. So the Undertaker shows up and is like, what the fuck is but you know in his voice, what the fuck is going on? And he's like Kane. Kane's like, Cactus Jack, who is Mankind's like, I don't know what's going on with Paul Bearer, but I want to find out. And he's pulling his hair out. And next thing you know, when they turn around, you know in a Michael Myers movie, that motherfucker's behind you. You're like, what the hell? So he looks at it. Michael Myers kills off Mankind. He kills Kane. The Undertaker's like, I want to see you in the hell, in the cell. So they set up the biggest Hell in Cell in the history of WrestleMania. It ain't on its own pay-per-view. They're like, no, The Undertaker versus Michael Myers, Hell in a Cell, and it's a weapons match. So there's Kane. Undertaker thought, I'm going to come with tables, chairs, and canes. Michael Myers came with a chainsaw and a knife. The Undertaker, this is the beauty of it. The Undertaker fights him off and he tombstones him. And he walks away like the match is over. But just like the Undertaker does, what do you think Michael Myers did?
He sits
up. He rose from the dead. He sits up. The Undertaker turns his back. Michael Myers is there. He slits his throat twice. Undertaker's head falls off. Michael Myers is the world wrestling champion of the world. And he's going to jail for murder for 3 life sentences. Because they're like, keep him in the cage. We got him now. We got him. He's in the cell. Don't lift the cell. Let's get all the army and the police. Do not let this motherfucker out. You going to jail, Michael Myers.
Wait.
Well, I wasn't going to go.
This is on my thread, Chris.
Hell, I wasn't going to go this route, but okay.
We're all different. You know that, Rob. I'm a Hell in a Cell guy.
I don't know if Bobby can go or not. Is
Bobby even there? Is that his armpit in the picture?
I don't know.
It might be over. The show might be over.
Yeah, but Bobby's the only one that can end the show. So we can
start another topic.
Well, I wasn't exactly prepared for this, but we could do another round of Book It Yourself.
CM Punk? Or no. CM Punk, because that's the biggest thing in wrestling right now.
That's a little bit too raw for me right now. So, let's do one that maybe touches on all of us.
Can I make a suggestion? Since you and Tony, how about we just talk about one of our favorite moments in wrestling?
Like ever or the week?
No, just ever.
Ever?
Because let's just chat like we would chat when we're off the air.
Oh, well, all right.
Okay. Can I go first? Can I go first?
That's some of the best wrestling talk ever.
Sure, we'll vamp for Bobby.
Bobby.
We'll have an old school preview.
One of my favorite moments of all time, and when I say favorite moments, like I marked out, I watched it over and over again. It gave me goosebumps. The first time Stone Cold's son Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
That's the best one ever, though. That's the best stunner of all time.
I absolutely love that shit. Like, I jumped out my seat. Like they run out. Like that was it for me. That was it. Bobby's back now, but that was my best moment ever.
Tony, Bobby's back. What do you give for your scenario on this?
My thing is, I don't even have it with me. I rushed out the house to get here, and I forgot it. So I'm gonna have to give it to you next time.
Oh, we did ours on the spot, I thought.
Well, I had
mine ready, Tony. I just made mine up.
Segment.
Oh no, I had my guys ready.
I didn't know we were supposed. I just made it up because I watched y'all. What y'all talking about? I was like,
yours was a lot of fun.
I knew coming in, I was doing LeBron James at Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, okay.
Yours was a lot of fun, so I'll give you points for that one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The fact that it was that shit was good.
Guys, I want to give a warning to everyone right now.
Yes, sir.
I meant to say this before, but the last phone call I got kind of reminded me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the Indianapolis area, or you are going to be coming to the Indianapolis area in November of next year, at the beginning of November of next year, don't come. Because Taylor Swift is going to be doing a concert out here.
Ooh, I'll be there. You said a free concert?
No, this ain't free.
No, that's not free.
Oh yeah, the tickets are $2,000. I ain't going.
Actually, the tickets are $10,000.
Yeah.
The only reason I know that is because somebody asked me to look it up.
Well, Taylor Swift tickets.
She's balling. She's wilding out.
But guys, if you like the Swifter, then come. If you're like me and you care less about Taylor Swift and her bony, chiselly, skinny, look like a pretzel, I want to jump rope. Do I really need to go any further?
No.
When it comes to Taylor Swift, I actually prefer her cousin, Sally Slow.
What the?
She takes her time.
I love me some Taylor Swift. Chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang.
She's skinny as a guitar.
But see, I like Sally Slow because I want a lady with the slow hand. Want a lover with an easy touch.
I still love Taylor Swift with somebody else's heart. I'm sorry. Her next album will be a trilogy talking about me dogging her all day long. I mean, I couldn't do it. I mean, Travis Kelce's a better man than I am. I can't do it. But, guys, this is the end. We gotta go. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in. FTW Network. Of course, it didn't go as special as planned because I was supposed to be at home, but of course, I got called to work. But I do want to thank you, Robert Black, for coming in. The Gadget brother, Chris Woods, and of course, Tony Motel Allen taking up the administrative duties. Thank you very much. Don't kill him, though. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. That's all I gotta say. Don't kill him. Everybody at Russell Arts, thank you for your hospitality. That was awesome. We will be talking again. Blair Onyx, God, nothing but love right there.
Was Phil there?
Lakota, nothing but props. But I want to thank everybody from Russell Arts. Give some shout outs to them. But ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. This is definitely the FTW Network.
Whoa. Bobby clicked off and we're still live.
And
So
we
I
will
guess
see you in the future. There he is.
Oh, here he comes.
And of course, with me ending the show, it wants to end early on me. But I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Keep tuning in. Tell your friends, tell your family. Tune to the FTW Network. For CM Punk exclusively by Robert Black. And we will definitely see you guys in the future. Here you go, Mama.
Thank you for